Judaism is a religion. Judaism is
movie
not a
theater for
culture,
50 years.
not an ethnicity,
And
not a bloodline.
to me, Judaism,
This is
being
what I
a
am
Jew
telling
means one
pro-Zionist
thing.
and clueless Christians
Judaism
online.
is not a culture, chicken soup. I met Gilad the first time in a kosher deli on Broadway, and he sits down and he says, first thing he says is, opens the menu and he says, "What's the most Jewish food?" So first thing I said, there's no such thing as Jewish food because Judaism is not an ethnicity, but if you want to know which food Jews would probably eat most, order the sushi. Being Jewish is not an ethnicity. Being Jewish is not a culture. Being Jewish is not even a blood family. You can convert to Judaism. You can't convert to a blood family. You cannot convert to a race. Judaism is a religion. That's all it is. In particular, specifically, in the year 2448 after creation, God came to Moses and the Jews on Mount Sinai and gave them the Torah. No, I was wrong. That's not true. God came to a group of random people who were not a nation at all. They were not Jews, and gave them the Torah. Because they got the Torah, they also received with it a mission to fulfill God's 613 commandments in this world. The reason they got it was because God was and still is willing to give it to anybody who's willing to accept it.
I mean, the motherfucker's been spitting, right? He's like, being a Jew is not an ethnicity. It's just anybody can convert to Judaism. It's not a culture. A Jew is not a nationality. Jews had no national characteristics, meaning they had no common land, language, or culture for thousands of years. The Jews had no flag. Jews had no national anthem. Jews didn't even have a national symbol. The Star of David wasn't a national symbol of Jews. It's a Kabbalistic symbol. It represents certain concepts in Judaism, but it's not the symbol of their religion. So yeah, this is a point we return to often when we hear the anti-Semitic when they bang the anti-Semitic drums. What is Israel doing? It's conflating a religious faith with a national territory. Those two are not the same.
Those people who were there were willing to accept this job. When I give you a job, I'm also presumably giving you the tools to get the job done. God then created the Jewish people. It's not that there was a Jewish nation called the Jewish people who created the religion. No. The religion created the Jewish people. The definition of a Jewish person is somebody who is transformed by receiving the Torah. You could receive the Torah on Mount Sinai like the Jewish nation did then. Or, our tradition tells us that the souls of many people who are not yet born will also receive
Why did he say the Jewish nation?
The Torah on Mount Sinai.
Seems like he went back on everything he just said by saying, well, it was received by the Jewish nation, but maybe he doesn't mean it in that way.
God ensured that those people will be born. When they're born, they will have Jewish mothers. They also receive the Torah on Mount Sinai. Or, if you weren't there, neither in soul or in body, you can accept the Torah now, and you're one of the Jewish people as well. The Torah makes the Jewish people. Had God not given us the Torah, it's not that we would be the Jewish people without a Torah. Rather, we would not be the Jewish people. Had God given the Torah to another group of people, had someone else accepted it, they would be the Jewish people. Now, you don't have to accept this story that I said, but that's what religions are.
So it's just, you're accepting of this idea. It's not a culture, it's not an ethnicity, it's just an idea. If you're transformed by the Torah, if you are transformed, spiritually, by receiving the words of the Torah, what's the dumbest shit ever?
They're about, you don't have to accept my religion. But without the Torah, without Judaism, there are no Jewish people. If a person does...
So, there's no Torah, there's no book, could we just say it's an ideology? It's a religious ideology? It's not a culture. It's not an ethnicity. It's not a bloodline. Why, I feel like the last political party that made blood and soil arguments ended up doing a genocide. I mean, am I right? Is not materially the Israelis the same as the Nazis? Are they not doing the same, carrying out the same actions?
Doesn't believe in this narrative that I just said. He doesn't believe that God gave the Torah to the Jews on Mount Sinai. and you don't believe that people were transformed by the Torah, then you don't believe in the Jewish people. There is no other definition of Jewish people except for that, those that accepted the Torah.
Cool. I feel like I learned some things there. Like, I mean, at least maybe I didn't learn, but I learned better how to articulate. Like, I like his answer. I'm going to steal some